Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Bennett and welcome to EDUC840, College and University Leadership Structures. I'm so excited to have you in the class. This is one of my favorite classes for a lot of different reasons. We have 8 weeks together and there's quite a bit to cover. Thought I would take week 1 to just give an overview of the course, the syllabus, and what the expectations are for this week. First and foremost, there are no scheduled meet sessions. Even the presentations are pre-recorded presentations that you will post and do discussions with. However, I'm going to each week offer office hours, probably on Tuesday around 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll post those and I'll record them. So if you can't make it, again, it's not compulsory, but what I'll do is I'll go over any questions that you had about the prior week and I will foreshadow assignments that are upcoming, and I'll engage in conversation around the topics that we're discussing. This course is interesting. Think of it as a bit of a hybrid in that, as we use Nordhaus's text, we are really looking at personal leadership styles that have really been explored over the last maybe 120 years and moving towards more inclusive leadership styles. And so in the beginning, you're starting with trait-based, skill-based, and we'll move through those through charismatic and other types of leaderships all the way through towards the end as we get into transformational leadership, as we get into servant leadership, and more modern theories around the construct of how we behave and interact and influence others. So I'm excited for us to do that. We are going to do that in the context of what does that mean within college and university leadership structures today. As you do your literature reviews in this, you may find that the literature is a little sparse. And what I will share with you is you can expand beyond just college and universities and think about the corporate space, the nonprofit space. All of that interdisciplinary knowledge is something that you can bring into your papers. So this first week, we start off light. You have 3 chapters of reading, and you have 2 skills inventories, but only 1 discussion. And next week, we're going to ramp up a little bit. So just a couple of things to go over, and just see if I've missed anything in my notes. No, I think that covers the weekly components. Thinking about this class a little broader, you will have discussions each week. Pay attention to the rubric. The rubric states that your follow-up posts are actually worth more than your initial post. And your initial post will take some time and thinking. Make sure that you've got your sources cited. Again, if you're going to make an assertion, make sure that's supported by the research, by a scholarly article or something alike. And then you're going to have a couple of article reviews. And then you are going to have around the midpoint and towards the end, you're going to have larger papers that are due that also have a presentation that's coupled with that. That presentation is something that you actually do a voiceover recording and you post that, and then there are some discussion pieces that take place with your classmates. But it's an interesting topic, college and university leadership structures. We perhaps have not been in the last 100 years under this type of pressure to make change and as quickly as we're having to do so in the academy. So I'm interested in your dialogue and our feedback. That makes this class rich. From a net etiquette standpoint, as you are maybe calling out something in somebody else's paper, I love critiques. Let's do that in the vein of us all growing together. And it's good to disagree. If you have another point and have something else to support, let's bring that into the conversation. That is part of the peer review process in the academy. And I'm interested in us engaging in that. I see that lots of you have posted introductions and have started to respond to one another. Thank you. I'll hop in there as well. And within the discussion topics, be prepared. I will likely interject each week an additional question based on the work that you've done and ask you to respond to that. Again, if you have any questions, concerns as you go through this course, just communicate with me frequently. If you have a question about assignment because you're not clear on the instructions or what the deliverable is, again, reach out to me. I want to be flexible. And then I also understand, as I had shared earlier, these are extraordinary times with the COVID-19 virus. And so please communicate if your family or your job is being impacted by this. At the end of this, what I believe in is you reaching the outcomes of this course. And so how we do that, we have lots of different ways, but we have to communicate for me to understand your needs and for us to put a plan together. I'm excited to have you in class. I love teaching in this, but I also really appreciate the learning. All of you have prior experience that you bring to the table for all of us. And my job is to help to facilitate that process. And also, you're on your doctoral journey. And I know firsthand, for many reasons, what that means to be an adult in this process. So if you've got questions about that as well, feel free to reach out. There are several students that I have had in prior classes. I am all about excellent scholarly writing, but how we get there is practice. And so I will give you critical feedback in your papers, but I don't want you to take that personally. This is all about shaping a better argument, about ensuring that we have really interpreted the resources that we're using in our argument and to support our assertions. Because at the end of this process, you are changing from what you have been mostly in education as a consumer of knowledge and information, and then sharing back that I get the concepts or sharing that I have a knowledge check. You are headed towards being a producer as you enter the academy, and I see it as my job along that way to help you be a better writer and thinker in this process. So again, I hope what you get from this video is an understanding of what my expectations are from the course and also what you can expect from me. I'm a partner in this process. Communicate often. We're going to have a great time. This is a really interesting course and there's a lot of learning to take place. So have a great week. If you have questions, let me know. Look for another communication coming soon. I'll make an object where we'll have a meet session. I'm going to add those for every week and I look forward to it. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.